to battleground Georgia, where incumbent Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock is facing off against Republican challenger Herschel Walker in a fiercely competitive race. The latest polling data actually shows the candidates are neck and neck, and a record-breaking 2.5 million people have already voted early in the state of Georgia, which is where you find NBC News national correspondent Gabe Gutierrez. He's in Atlanta. Hey, Gabe, good morning. So this has become this incredibly tight race in recent weeks, and it has seen its fair share of drama. First, just tell us where we're at right now. We heard from both candidates. We saw them make their final campaign push last night. What did they say?
Yes, Savannah, both candidates searching for every last vote. And first, I want to take a live look, though, at the folks that have showed up to vote here. Polls opening just a short time ago, minutes ago, and a line started forming even before the polls opened. Several dozen people have been waiting in line. We just saw a few of them go inside right now, but still a small line outside of this polling place in Atlanta. Now, as you mentioned, this is a tight contest between football legend Herschel Walker, who was denied allegations during the campaign that he paid for 2 women's abortions, and he's tried to link incumbent Senator Raphael Warnock to President Biden and rising inflation. Now, Warnock, a minister, has slammed Walker as unfit for office and a pathological liar. And as you said, with control of the U.S. Senate hanging in the balance, more than $250 million has already poured into this race. And Savannah, there is a third-party candidate here, and in Georgia, if no candidate reaches that 50% threshold, that means that this all goes to a runoff next month. So this might not be over tonight or even this week, Savannah.
Yeah, we might be doing this all again in a matter of 4 weeks or so. Gabe, let's talk now, of course, about what's important here, what's ultimately going to make the decision, and that's the voters. What are you hearing from voters on the ground about this race in particular? There was so much question, so much speculation about if the allegations against Herschel Walker would change anyone's mind. What are some of the biggest issues and the biggest takeaways from that?
Well, certainly, Savannah, and there are several key demographics here, and the question will be which way these groups go in this election. Of course, suburban women, the youth voters, young people, who they will vote for, or whether they will turn out at all. I spoke with several folks on both sides of the aisle yesterday. Take a listen to what they had to say.
I believe in Herschel, and we need to get the economy back where it should be, and I think he'd make the best one. You go to the grocery store and you don't have, you just spend so much money in gas, and I just feel sorry for people that don't have money to make a living.
And you blame President Biden for that?
Oh, yes, I do, 100%.
Why are you supporting Senator Warnock?
I'm a Democrat, and first of all, his intelligence level is off the chart, and I think he's a good person to be in the Senate. You're always going to blame the person in power to get in power yourself. So Biden is doing a very good job working with the people around him for the United States of America. It's a lot of things happening in America right now, and it's not necessarily the economy here. Inflation is all around the globe.
So Republican voters, many of them telling me that their top issue this election cycle is the economy. Other Democrat voters that I spoke with said that it was reproductive rights, as well as threats to democracy that were really driving their vote. Again, voters here already going to the polls here in Georgia. The polls stay open until 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight.
Absolutely. Gabe, also, I mentioned the interest in this particular state in voting early and absentee voting, 2.5 million people voting early. I know also, though, now that the state has launched an investigation into absentee ballots that were not mailed to voters. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, Savannah, another example of how every vote counts here, and especially in such a tight race. But Cobb County, which is a county, suburban Atlanta, essentially, the state has launched an investigation as to how more than 1,000 ballots were not mailed in time, basically. The ACLU had filed a lawsuit saying more than 1,000 ballots had not been mailed in time by mail to voters who had requested them. And several hundred of those voters ended up voting in person, but there were still several hundred others that did not get those ballots in a timely fashion. So there's some question about whether they would be able to get the ballots in by today. By the way, Savannah, Georgia is one of those states, and in some other parts of the country, you need to have your ballot postmarked by Election Day. Here, it needs to be received by Election Day, and there was some concern that the ballots would not be able to be received. So now a judge has extended the deadline for those several hundred ballots in Cobb County, absentee ballots, to be counted until next week. But again, another example of just just how much every vote counts in this especially tight race in Georgia.
Absolutely. One of the big three that we are watching, according to Mark Murray, and you will keep an eye on it for us. Gabe, thanks so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.